changed the instant she went into a hospital again. Welcome Maggie to the show. He did a great job of explaining everything to this point, but what we're missing is, where was Maggie in this? At
Sleeping.
4 o'clock in the morning when you went to wake him up, what did you think?
I had not wanted to wake him up for a while, but I had woke up sometime after midnight, and my legs and my feet felt so cold, like they were buried in snow or they'd been stuck in a freezer. And I was trying to do everything I could to warm up my legs. I didn't know what was wrong. He looked at me and said that I was purple when I was on the couch. And then I started not being able to see clearly. I couldn't see him clearly. And I think that's when he knew, okay, we got to get out of here. We got to go.
They induced a coma. You really don't remember much until they brought you out of that coma, right?
Correct. My son Blaze was the first of my children to come see me. And everybody, when they came, had to be masked and gowned and gloved in order to come in the room. And I was really excited to see him. It felt like I'd been away for a long time. And he came, and he just had a huge smile on his face. I couldn't see the smile because of his mask, but his eyes were smiling. And then I got to see my other older son, Mitchell, and I think I did start asking questions, but my memory has been affected quite a bit, and so I don't remember much more than that day.
When did they walk in and say, there's just too much damage now to get that blood flow back through your lower extremities?
We knew that there was damage to my legs because when you looked at my feet, they were so purple they looked black, and my toes were black. And they were real fat. My whole body was real fat and puffy, and I could barely move my feet at all. You know, they would come in and ask me to try to move them, and then they would do a test to see if there was enough blood getting down there. And the answer to that question was no, there wasn't enough. So I believe that we just prayed and hoped for a miracle that I could keep my feet, that's, you know, really what I wanted at that point.
And Maggie, just your mom, and take me through this for a second. Mom who homeschools 3 boys? Four boys. You're homeschooling, you're, you know, super mom, you know, drive to here, drive to there, drive there, get to this, get to that, make sure
I was going everywhere. Busy.
And somebody
Busy.
they walk in and say, Maggie, you're going to be busy, girlfriend, I got to take your legs.
Yeah. And, you know, really at that point, I knew that that was a great possibility. And I just put all my faith and trust in God that no matter which direction it was going to go, he was going to be there and he was going to take care of us and that he wouldn't leave.
And I guess that faith is what paid off, because the truth of the matter is one loss was a huge gain. Because had they been kept, all the other issues we're talking about could have manifested themselves, because you would have got another secondary infection, had to fight them both. Right?
And plus I didn't have a spleen, which is why they think I got it in the first place. And a secondary infection, I wouldn't have been able to fight that infection. So at that point, I had to make the decision to save my life, because I have 4 boys and a wonderful husband, and I couldn't risk it. It was just better to do the safer of the 2 alternatives.
I think you mentioned what one of your sons said about mom and the amputation. Right. What was it? They better have a mom? Wait.
I'd rather have my mom. I'd rather have a part of my mom than not have a mom.
Absolutely. Absolutely. This whole process, one of the things that struck me, and I love to applaud people when they deserve it, had that doctor in that ER not said, I don't know what it is yet, I'm going to wait for the record, for the test to come back,
right,
I might just be interviewing you.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Talk about this man for a second.
Well, I remember the first 30 minutes in the ER, roughly. I remember him, and I remember a lot of nurses being just a flurry all around me. I've never gotten to personally thank him, of course.
Well, maybe, you know what? Maybe you ought to. Please welcome Dr. Hightower to the show.
How are you? Wow.
Have a seat for a second, Doc. Wait, you know what? I'm going to take a little break, and I want to hear from you as soon as I come back. We'll be back right after this.
so glad you knew what you were seeing, what I had when I came in. I'm sure you had a big hunch that that's what it was, and you didn't waste any time. And if you had wasted time, I might not have been here. I just say thank you.
She left her priest everything